All right, trying to find a place out on our little balcony here in lovely Key Largo. To wish everybody a good morning when it's not really a good morning. So last night, over here the light's a little better, but of course the wind is blowing. I don't know. Anyway, maybe this. Last night, after we'd gotten back to our room, Ginny and I went out to explore the marina here a little bit and had a nice time. It rained on us a little bit. We were running around in the rain and laughing and looking forward to the rest of our trip when Ginny got a text from her mom. And I'm not sure if this is one of those, hey, thanks for the heads up moments, or didn't need to know that. But apparently there is a major winter storm blowing into Colorado where we live that could potentially dump several feet of snow where we live. So it's still a little early on. We couldn't quite figure out where the storm is going to hit and how much is they're still working on the forecasts. But obviously this is going to be a major weather event, and Ginny flew here, I drove here, and it's going to cause us travel problems no matter what. So we just kind of sat there and looked at each other for a second and kind of decided under the circumstances that we should probably scrap the rest of our trip. So this is second time in under a year that our plans have been scrapped because of situations beyond our control. The first was when we were pulling our trailer to Las Vegas and were sideswiped by a careless driver and our trailer was totaled. The second one is this, where we are actually in the Florida Keys about to head down to Key West, and we find out that it's probably best not to continue our journey. Ginny yesterday was, the eternal optimist, is like, hey, we can just reschedule. And it's like, well, why reschedule when we're actually at the destination? But I really don't see I don't see an alternative. Again, Ginny flew, I drove, and this storm will cause, no matter what happens, this storm is going to cause travel delays. It's going to make things more difficult getting back, and not only that, but our daughter will be dog sitting for us later in the week during the storm, so we cannot take a chance of our little dogs, Faith not being able to get home and take care of the dogs, and because she also has dogs of her own, and she actually lives with her grandparents-in-law, and her husband is out of town in Houston because he's an insurance adjuster. So it would be probably not the best idea to ask her to go over to our house in a blizzard when she has her own household now to take care of. So to say that I'm disappointed would be a vast understatement. I did not react really well when Ginny said, we'll just reschedule. It's like, that's not how my brain works. I think I have many flaws, but one of my biggest is probably I'm not an optimist. I'm really not. And Ginny's probably one of her biggest flaws is she is an optimist, and that's one of her also biggest attributes of just being a decent human being. So Ginny's in getting ready right now, and as soon as she's ready, we're loading up, and we've canceled everything, all of our hotels, all of our excursions. We were going to go snorkeling, glass bottom boat, going down to an aquarium in Marathon Key, and feeding sharks and all these other cool things that I'm really looking forward to. And we're going to probably do the adult and responsible thing and head home. So it had better. This storm, from what I can tell, they're saying it could be the worst storm in like the last 10 years. So quite honestly, it better be. If I get home and there's one snowflake, yeah, you might be peeling me off the ceiling somewhere. So for now, I'm going to let you go. You're going to see these videos when we get home. But unfortunately, there's not going to be much to show you again. So I guess this is travel, right? It just, sometimes it works out beautifully, and other times it just doesn't. So one last look at our at Key Largo, and this is where our Florida Keys trip ends.
Hello everybody, it is Chris
and Jen,
and we are attempting to do a quick video at a rest stop very close to the Florida-Georgia line, because that's the way how we do things around here. And of course there is traffic noise and a lot of insects, so I'm not sure if you guys will even see this, but I did a quick video this morning from Key Largo, but Jenny kind of wanted to throw her 2 cents in real quick about what was going on as well, and kind of why we're going home. So Jen, take it from here. It sums up this trip pretty much.
Well, you know, I was just kind of telling Chris, I was just looking outside our room and the palm trees. We actually made it to Key Largo, and you know, it just hit me. I was just very sad. You know, I was just very sad. I was like not ready to go yet. You understand that, you know, we didn't want our daughter to have to be stuck at our house because she has dogs of her own, or so we had to make a quick decision to come home. And I don't know, to me I just wasn't ready yet. I did break down a little bit, and
partially because I was being a jerk, and because and I'll get to that in a minute, but tell a little bit about the articles you read about the storm that's going to hit our house.
Yeah, the whole main reason why we're deciding to turn back too early. Supposedly, worst case scenario, we're supposed to get 5 feet of snow. Best case scenario, supposed to be 2 feet of snow. So either way, it's going to be a lot of snow to where it's just, I was supposed to be flying home Saturday night. Chances are, you know, flights are going to be canceled then. And, you know, Chris was driving home, and I don't know if you wouldn't even been able to make it home.
I probably would have been delayed for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
for
you
sure.
would have had to stay somewhere, but then no matter what, if the storm's moving east, you probably would have gotten
I would have run into it
stuck.
at some place.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to say where that would have been. So
it's just hard because we just didn't know, you know, with him driving and me flying. I think if we both would have flown, I don't know, it would have been maybe different. You know, we could have probably, you know, stuck it out and probably stayed a couple more days before, you know, changing our flight. But yeah,
but
with him
honestly,
driving,
with me driving, that's what's getting us home now.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd be spending a considerable amount of money because we have big bags and everything else that I drove here.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe me driving here is actually kind of saving our bacon. But, you know, I agree with Jenny. You know, to me, this trip honestly has been in the works for 2 years. I mean, I knew I was going to get laid off in the spring of 2019. And literally, I've been planning a 2-week trip for that long. So, and you know, what I wanted to go, where I wanted to see and everything, and it was all planned out perfectly. There's a lot of semi trucks along this road. I think we're on I-75 going from Florida to Georgia, but everything had worked out perfectly. I mean, Jenny was able to get some time off of work. I really wanted her to spend the full 2 weeks with me, but she couldn't. So I went down to the Everglades. Like I said, I got our big bags full of, you know, swimsuits and snorkel gear. And
I bought a new snorkel.
Jenny bought a new snorkel mask. It's one of the full face masks. I should have had you get it out for this video, but I mean, we had a lot of plans. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. But here's the kicker for me too, is I wanted to get this trip done before April, because that was kind of my deadline for getting a job. You know, I have to have one by April because that's when my severance ran out. But lo and behold, about 3 weeks ago, and I didn't say this earlier, but I got my old job back, sort of. They brought us back on as contractors. And my job is honestly very hard. It is very stressful. And I was looking forward to this as kind of a decompression before I had to get back and really give this my all, because part of what we do is greatly influenced by what happened in Houston not too long ago with their cold snap. A lot of the products we sell are actually manufactured in an area, and our customers are going to be wanting products they cannot get because the manufacturers are down for repairs because of the cold snap that hit Houston. So it's not only stressful and difficult, but I'm going back to even more stressful and difficult because of that. So I personally really needed this, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm not handling this well. And, you know, I really enjoy our travels. I really like traveling. I mean, these aren't just vacations to me. This is an experience, creating memories, and honestly, we're trying to build a brand. We're trying to do something a little bit extraordinary, not just go on vacation and come home and go back to work. And so when things like this happen, it just becomes incredibly, it's incredibly hard. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking, you know, suck it up, Chris, things like this happen. You know, you just got to roll with the flow. That's what happens when you travel, and I get that. But if you think about it, in less than a year, we've had a trailer wreck during a trip, and we've had to go home because of a major winter storm, and not wanting to have our daughter need to drive to our house in a blizzard and leave her house, or have somebody stranded at our house that can't get out. And obviously we need to be able to let our dogs out and feed them. So I hope you guys can hear this. We'll see. I'll put it on the computer later, and maybe we have to redo this. And so that's why these trips are very important to me. These aren't just vacations. And generally when something happens, Jenny actually kind of rolls with the flow a little bit better than I do, a lot better than I do. But this time she's really, you know, she's disappointed.
I really was disappointed. I know that you know, it affects you really hard. And I know, and I get that, but it's like, it affected me really hard too. I mean, I really was looking forward to this. I really was, you know, wanting to see Key West, a place we've never been together.
Yeah, and this
you know?
whole thing was about not only our usual places in Florida, but new adventures, new places. We were going to go to Key West, Marathon Key. We stayed last night in Key Largo. We're going to go to Sanibel Island. I wanted to go to Sanibel Island for probably 5, 6, 7 years now. And Key West, going across the overseas highway, is kind of a bucket list thing for me. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and now it's done because of something we cannot control. And
so
I don't know.
Why did the storm of the century have to happen this weekend?
And Jenny was reading an article earlier, and it said this could be the most amount of snow in Denver ever, like recorded history. And it happened to happen while we're on our Florida trip. And so that is very, you know, for me, it's kind of like, why now? Why not a week from now? Not 2 weeks ago, but now. But, you know, and I don't want to sound too whiny, because honestly, I know that there's a lot of stuff going on in this world right now with COVID and everything. But this is just one of those little frustrations that's kind of gotten to both of us. So we're heading home. I'm not sure how much recording we'll do over the next couple of days, because we're just driving home. If we see anything interesting, we'll stop and try to get a quick video. But for now, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jen.
And we are unexpectedly and unwillingly driving home. Bye. Okay, bit of an update from the road. We basically drove all day yesterday. Started in I don't even know where, but hit some really bad. Say hi, Jenny. There's Jenny. She's driving right now, but drove through yesterday. I mean, my gosh, Georgia, Tennessee, Illinois, into Missouri. Started today in Missouri. Hit some really, really bad weather to start with. Some of the worst rain I've ever driven through. But now we're in Kansas, about 300 miles from our house, and check this out. Absolutely nothing. Clear skies. There's not a cloud anywhere. But according to the weather, tomorrow, right here, it's going to be a torrential downpour, and we are still expecting feet of snow at our house. So 300 miles left to go. We ended up doing some grocery shopping in Missouri because we heard there was a run on the grocery stores by our house. So 300 miles to go, and I'll record some snow, and then finally put this video on YouTube for all to see. So for now, I'm Chris, and that is Jenny, and we are heading.
Hi everyone, this is Jen with Going Places with K&J. Just wanted to give you a quick update of what's going on now with weather and in our trip home. So I'm going to go outside here real quick. Oh, dogs just got in. Alright, so this is our view right here, as you can see, the storm is coming. This is going to produce probably 2 to 3 feet of snow for us, but as of right now, it's just kind of cloudy. So it's supposed to start about 11 p.m. tonight. As I was mentioning, we did get back home last night. It was about 3 days of driving. We started driving back from Key Largo on Tuesday morning. And that was about an 8-9 hour day to stop in Tifton, Georgia. At that point, we got a little bit late start. That was my fault. I just wasn't ready to get out of bed yet. I still was trying to cope with the reality that we were having to go home. But so started about 8 a.m. and we started, well, we went about 11 hours. It was 11 and a half hours driving through Missouri, through St. Louis, trying to navigate St. Louis at night, and then stopping in Warrenton, Missouri for the night. We got there about 10 o'clock at night and rested for a little bit, got an early start, 5 a.m. the next day. Leaving was a little dicey. We started out with a little bit of a rain, and then it instantly became a downpour to where it was very difficult to see the road, which was kind of scary. So we were figuring that was probably part of the storm that was coming in. But and then literally throughout, you know, that lasted maybe about an hour, and then it was like clear literally through Kansas. There was like no clouds. It was a clear day, and then we really didn't see any remnants of the storm until coming in, seeing clouds in Colorado. But other than that, it was just very clear driving. It was another 11+ hour day driving, so it was a rough patch coming home. But I mean, really, you know, Chris and I discussed it. We were not sure, you know, if we had made the right decision at first, you know, just thinking about all the scenarios of, you know, what we should have done or what we could do. My flight actually ended up being canceled. I would have been coming or flying home tomorrow, which would have been in the middle of the storm. But it ended up being canceled. You know, really thinking about if we stayed an extra day, what that would have done, you know, if we both would have flown, you know, either way, if we would have stayed, we would have hit some kind of storm coming in, because we would have had to drive back. If we both would have flown out, maybe we could have stayed a little bit longer, but then again, we didn't want a chance not being able to get home. So every scenario that we played through in our mind placed us back to, you know, really thinking that we made the right decision, as much as we did not want to come home. And I'm still looking through my pictures, and I'm not happy that it ended in Key Largo. And I might just tape up my windows and put out palm tree pictures all over the place, because I really don't want to look out and see 3 feet of snow when we should have been in Sanibel Island right about now on the beach. So again, just wanted to kind of update you on that, where we're at. And now we're just, as I mentioned, waiting out the storm. That should be starting at 11 p.m. tonight. So I'll probably be coming back on in a little bit to show you how different things will have changed in just a matter of, you know, a few hours. So again, my name is Jen with Going Places with K&J, and we will keep you updated now on the storm. Bye.
Alrighty, everybody. It is my turn to do the doom and gloom weather video. So I was watching the news last night, and I could have swore the meteorologist said that the storm was going to hit here last night, which it would have been Friday night at about 11 p.m. So I fully expected to wake up this morning to a foot of snow, and it's snowing harder and harder and harder. And as you can see, there's no snow. Now we are starting to get some precipitation. It is starting to rain. So when I got up this morning, I didn't see any snow on the ground, I consulted my smartphone and found out that, if you take a look at that, motion alert, that's our security system because I'm outside, that now we only start maybe at noon, 1, but by 5 o'clock it's supposed to be going really hard all night long and tomorrow. So when we first heard about this storm and we came home from Florida, it was supposed to snow all day hard Friday, all day hard Saturday, and all day hard Sunday. And then we get home and it's going to start sometime on Friday and go all Saturday and all Sunday. And now all of a sudden it's going to start sometime on Saturday, but when it does, it's going to be really hard. And if I'm honest with you, I'm beginning to have my doubts. It's raining a little bit right now, but other than that, nothing. So, however, I will say this, is my understanding is that the Midwest, where I would have had to drive back through from Florida, is still getting hit pretty hard with severe weather. And Jenny's flight that was supposed to leave tonight, Saturday, at something like 8 o'clock Florida time, is already canceled. So, Jenny would have either had to reschedule, and again, we don't know when that would have been, or drive home with me through what potentially could have been very severe weather. So for now, this is Chris. Jenny's getting ready to make our breakfast, and I am disappointed, to say the least, about the snow we are receiving. So if it does start snowing again, I'll probably, hopefully Jenny will get out here, or myself will get out here and give you another update. For now, I report slight rain, and that's about it. All right, guys, take care.